Good morning, one and all present here. I'm sure you all agree that annual national budget is a very significant event in financial world. It is a blueprint of the future activities which lies ahead in a coming year. It's a roadmap for process and growth of nation as a whole. A document as important and comprehensive as this is ought to have multiple facets, both good and bad. Budget pass through controversies between expectations and offerings. We, as future stakeholders in the system that bridges the financial decisions of government and a common people of country, should have clear insight to the same. So, keeping this in mind, let's go for explanation and analysis of Budget 2022. On behalf of Faculty of Commerce, SMPIC, BCom Honors, GLS University, I, CA Dr. Sneha Master, welcome you all in our today's session of Budget Decoding. Now, I request our Dean, CA Dr. Marzun Jokhi sir, to deliver his welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sneha ma'am. Good morning, CA Palak Pavagadi sir. Dear students, Sneha ma'am, Keur sir, Bhavna ma'am, Jaimin sir, all colleagues. Rightly mentioned by Sneha ma'am that budget passed through controversies between expectation and offerings. Normally, I think when budget is going to be proposed, we have many expectations. And after every budget which is proposed, we feel that the offerings are less than expectation. Today also, we are eagerly waiting with a lot of expectations of offerings of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the budget from young, vibrant, and dynamic speaker CA Palak sir. And I am 100% sure that the offerings of wisdom and knowledge from Palak sir is going to not only match our expectation, but it will be much more than or maybe go beyond our expectation. With this, on behalf of GLS University, Faculty of Commerce, SMPIC, I welcome CA Palak Pavagadi sir. I express sincere gratitude to Palak sir for accepting our invitation. Thank you so much, sir. Dear students, it is a normal practice and I am witness since last so many years that whenever the budget is proposed, Palak sir has a very tight schedule. Daily he has more than multiple sessions to attend on the various academic forums and news channel. And still Palak sir has accepted our invitation for the expert session. I personally thank Palak sir for the same. Wills Rogers said, and I hereby quote, "Too many people spend that they haven't earned to buy things that they don't want and to impress people that they don't like." Today, Palak sir is going to decode the budget, and I am sure that today we are all going to have a very informative, we are going to witness a very informative and enriching session. And I thank Sneha ma'am for coordinating the session. Thank you so much. Over to you, Sneha ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Friends, our today's speaker, as sir has said, CA Palak Pavagadi, a prominent chartered accountant. By qualification, he is a CA and law graduate. To his achievement, he has rank and gold medals in the chartered accountancy and university exams. He is founder and promoter of Pavagadi Shah and Associate, a CA firm based at Ahmedabad, India. He is a mentor at MBRS Consulting Services LLP and Finet Global Services Private Limited. He is engaged in business process outsourcing and knowledge process outsourcing from various countries like USA, UK, Canada, Australia, and South Africa. He's appointed as board committee member of Global Business Roundtable, that is GBR, and GFFJ, an association of South Africa doing philanthropic activities across the globe. He represents India in investment committee of this association. Adding to his list of achievements, he has worked as a member of Corporate and Allied Law Committee of ICAI and suggested many changes to Indian government in the process of farming allied laws. He has worked as a member of Financial Review and Restructuring Board of ISAI for reviewing the balance sheets of Indian listed companies. He delivers regular lectures at various professional forums on the subjects of direct taxes. Sir, the list is endless. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. I'm sure students will get to know a lot from your expertise. Over to you, sir. Thank you. Palak sir, you can continue.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. I'm very thankful to GLS University and SMPIC for giving me this opportunity to share my views to the young friends of the country, those who are the future of the country, on the topic Budget 2022. Respected Marzoon Joki sir, a very good friend of mine, Sneha ma'am, Keur sir, Bhavna ma'am, all other dignitaries, and my dear friends. Budget, which was presented on 1st February 2022, is the expected revenue of the central government and expected expenditure of the central government in the coming year. Coming year means from 1st April 2022 to 31st March 2023. Government has to prepare the budget balancing this expenditure and the revenue, and still majority of us are aware that government is having since years the budget with the deficit. This time from budget there were huge expectations of the taxpayers, friends. I'll come to the expectations and whether they are fulfilled or not. If not fulfilled, why not fulfilled, slightly later. But this year's budget speech of Honorable the Finance Minister, I'll divide into two parts. It was a small speech of 1.5 hours, unlike the earlier speeches of 3 hours, 2.5 hours, which were endless. Honorable the Finance Minister, ma'am, spoke only for 1.5 hours. Wherein in first 1 hour he has given all the benefits. Given the benefits on the infrastructure front, given the benefit on manufacturing side, given the manufacturing to the real estate, given the benefit to the farmers, given the benefit to the education. In place of 12 channels, there would be 200 channels, and allocated a huge budget for the education. She has given the benefit on the health sector, looking at definitely the COVID-19 position. So huge benefits are being awarded by her to various sectors. Now, for giving this benefit, government needs the revenue. And for collecting the revenue, government has got two sources. As far as the taxation is concerned, there are other sources, borrowing and the foreign debt and issuing the bonds to the public. They are all different. But as far as the tax aspect is concerned, there are two sources, direct tax and indirect tax. As majority of us are aware, the indirect tax means goods and service tax, which we all are paying. We go to restaurant, we pay 5% on our bill. That is nothing but GST. We Swiggy, we Zomato, we order on Zomato. We pay the GST. Now, earlier what used to happen, friends, was that this indirect tax was also the part of the budget. And hence, there were changes made in indirect taxes also. But luckily, now this indirect tax has been dealt by the GST Council, which meets every month or alternate month. And the decisions are taken by GST Council. So there are no major changes as far as the GST or indirect tax is concerned, there are changes in the custom, but I'll not pick up those changes. For the direct tax front, that is income tax, the finance minister has made number of changes. In, I would say, her speech, it was only 15 to 16 minutes. She spoke on direct taxes, and we thought that, oh, there is nothing in the budget. I had seminars every day for the professional association, for the prestigious institutes association like GLS University, and many more. So I was thinking that what I would speak. But friends, honestly, on 2nd of February, I had a seminar, not webinar, it was physical seminar at Odho Bapunagar for the chartered accountants for 3 years. I was given 2.5 hours, and believe me, those 2.5 hours also were less because she has made 84 changes in the income tax, direct tax. I'll pick up only 8-10 major changes which is connecting you, which is affecting you, which you will be able to understand and which will be practically important for you. Friends, let us begin with the first change in the tax rate. Itself is no change. There were huge expectations that this year the finance minister will increase the basic exemption limit from 2,50,000 to 3 lakh, or for senior citizen 3 lakh to something more. But friends, there is no change in the basic exemption limit by the finance minister for individual HUF. No tax slabs are being changed. People were expecting that this 20% slab, 5 lakh to 10 lakh, the tax rate is 20%. About 10 lakh, the tax rate is 30%. People were expecting that in place of this 20% rate, she would reduce it to 15 or she would reduce it to 10%. No change. No change are being made by the finance minister. I give you the reason. There were expectations. I know, very huge expectations. But this budget given by the government, the central government, is economy oriented rather than election oriented. We are aware that the elections are coming in Uttar Pradesh and other states. Gujarat is also due for this November, December, or maybe early. Government could have given the benefit to the people, and all the media houses have, I would say, appreciated the budget like anything. But no, government has not given, because they don't want to present the budget being in power, being in central government for the election, but they have presented the budget for the economy, for the stability of the economy. If you want to do all this expenditure, you need money, and this is the time to give to the nation rather than to get from the nation. No basic exemption limit change, no deduction for ATC, that is LIC, PPF, etc. being changed, no change in housing loan interest, no change in medical insurance premium, nothing. No benefit to general public at large. One of my friends is working with the TCS, he's doing a job there. He was expecting a lot from the budget. I asked him on the date of budget that how did you find the budget? Nothing is given. Kuch nahi diya budget. And yes, he's right. To the general public, nothing is given. But as far as the tax rates are concerned, there are some minor changes which are made in the budget if I highlight. Friends, for the purpose of tax rate, as I have said, no change. But for surcharge, there is a misconception that the tax rate on the long-term capital gain is reduced from 20% to 15%. No, it is a misconception. Try and understand what provision it is. For the purpose of surcharge, surcharge is an additional tax. Government collects the surcharge and uses this surcharge for the purpose of defense. Exclusively it goes for defense. Now, the rate of surcharge for individual HUF, AOP, BOI is up to 50 lakh, there is no surcharge payable. If you are earning income up to 50 lakh, no surcharge is payable. Above 50 lakh up to 1 crore, surcharge payable is at the rate of 10% on tax. Above 1 crore up to 2 crore, the surcharge payable is at 15% of the tax. Above 2 crore up to 5 crore, the surcharge payable is 25% of tax. And above 5 crore, the surcharge payable is 37% of the tax. So these were the rates of surcharge which are being prescribed by the finance minister for PY 21-22. Now look at the change. The change made by her is, and before that, if in this income, You have long-term capital gain on listed shares and security, Reliance shares or TCS shares or Infosys shares, or assume if ITC is going up and you are gaining, then long-term capital gain under section 112A is taxable. Short-term capital gain is taxable at the rate of 111A at the rate of 15%. And nowadays, you people are aware, dividend is also taxable. If you are having these three income, 112A long-term capital gain on listed equity shares, 111A short-term capital gain on listed equity shares, and dividend, then the maximum rate of surcharge applicable was 15% only in place of 25% or in place of 37%. Now, friends, for the purpose of amending the same from financial year 20 to 23, the finance minister made a change saying that for AOP BOI, if you are having income above 1 crore up to any limit, your maximum rate of surcharge will be 15% only for any income. Association of person, body of individual, the maximum rate of surcharge will be 15 would be 15% only. If you are AOP is earning, say for example, the business income, or AOP is earning the income from house property, or AOP is earning dividend or interest or capital gain, it would be maximum short-term capital gain, long-term capital gain, any sort of capital gain, maximum rate of surcharge will be 15%. Number one. Number two, for individual HUF, this 15, 25, 37 continues. But for any long-term capital gain, the highest rate of surcharge will be 15%. Which was earlier only for the long-term capital gain from listed shares. Reliance TCS up becho, it was maximum rate of surcharge was 15%. Now, if you sell off the gold, the capital gain, long-term gold, capital gain tax will be at the rate of 20%, but surcharge will be maximum at the rate of 15%. If you sell off long-term building, if you sell off long-term land, if you sell off long-term silver, long-term capital asset, any sort of long-term capital asset, the maximum rate of surcharge applicable will be 15% in place of 25%, or in place of 37% is the first major change, number one. Number two, for cooperative society, the Honorable Finance Minister said that above 1 crore, if the cooperative society was earning, earlier the rate of surcharge was 12%. Now she has said that above 1 crore up to 10 crore, the rate of surcharge will be 7%. And above 10 crore, the rate of surcharge will be 12%. And AMT, एक alternate minimum tax, friends, आपको भरना पड़ता है. You to pay a tax called alternate minimum tax other than company के लिए. It's for other than company. That alternate minimum tax rate is 18.5% for LLP, for partnership, for individual, for HUF. That has been kept 18.5% only for cooperative society. The rate of AMT has been reduced from 18.5% to 15%. Please do not misunderstand. The tax rate on long-term capital gain is not revised. Only the surcharge rate is revised. Many are asking that whether the long-term capital gain is taxable now at the rate of 15% in place of 20. Answer is no. It would be taxable at 20 only. Only the surcharge rate is in place of 25 or 37%. It would be, friends, 15%. And for cooperative only, the AMT rate is revised from 18.5 to 15. For LLP, for partnership firm, the rate of AMT, alternate minimum tax, is 18.5% only. A big benefit given to Gujarat, Gift City. Friends, Gift City in our technical language is called International Financial Service Center, IFSC, we call it. Now, if you start a unit in IFSC, then there are a number of exemptions given to you. If you started a company there, you are ending up paying minimum alternate tax. And the rate of minimum alternate tax, if you start a company in IFSC, was only and only 9%. General rate of MAT is 15%, but if it is in IFSC, the concessional rate of 9% was applicable. It has now been provided that if you start LLP or partnership firm or the other entity in IFSC, then the rate of alternate minimum tax also, in place of 18.5%, it would be 9%. To make all the entities at par with the corporate assessee, this rate has been provided with. So these are the changes related to tax rate of AMT and surcharge rate. Normal tax rate, there is no change. Number one. Number two, to promote the manufacturing sector, friends, government has extended two scopes, or rather to promote certain sector, manufacturing, and I would say the second sector is going to be the startups. Friends, government has extended two dates. First one, there is a section called 115 BAB. I'll not be very technical, friends, do not worry. I'll be speaking in the manner you would be able to digest. The concept is, if any assessee starts new company, incorporate new company on or after 1st October 2019, and in this newly incorporated company, if he starts the manufacturing activity, the manufacturing work, the production must start up to 31st March 2023. Then these companies are ending up paying tax only at the rate of 15%. Only 15% is the rate of tax payable by the company. It's a big benefit. In place of 30 or 25% tax rate of the company, it is only 15% tax rate payable by the company. So it's a fantastic benefit which is awarded to the company. Now the point is, you start the manufacturing up to 31st March 2023 was the rule. One of my client who wants to start the manufacturing unit in India, in our Gujarat only, it's a company from UK which is starting this unit in India, and we had 2-3 virtual meetings with them, and they are through with. But 10 days back, but before 10 days of budget or 8-10 days of budget, there was a question from their side. They're very perfect as far as all the calculations are concerned. They said that if we start acquiring the land, construct the manufacturing unit, it would minimum take April or May 2023 to start the production. And the date you have mentioned, or the act has mentioned, is you have to start the production up to 31st March 2023. So will not be able to get the benefit. Is there any way out? My reply, immediately, I got the mail, and from my mobile only I replied that no, at present there are no advantages, no benefit. It is 31st March 2023, you need to start the production. Thereafter, if you start the production, you will not get the benefit. But the budget is due on 1st February 2022, wherein we are expecting the extension in this particular date by a year or two to promote manufacturing sector. And friends, luckily, this is extended up to 31st March 24. So you incorporate a new company and you start manufacturing up to 31st March 24, the concessional rate of 15% would be made available to you. So this is to promote manufacturing. Third one is startup. The startup which are with innovation or with information technology and registered with the approved authority. For them, they don't have to pay the tax for 3 consecutive years out of first 10 years. Your choice. From first 10 years, any 3 years you select startup and you don't have to pay the tax. But startup has to be registered up to 31st March 2022. Friends, in this pandemic, you would agree with me that many people, those who are doing the job, those who are doing the small businesses, have switched over to the startup, and many startups are getting registered. If I'm not mistaken, our GLS University also has got incubation center. And there are a number of innovative ideas coming in, and many startups are getting registered. Friends, if you register your startup after 31st March 22, you are not going to enjoy this exemption of your income for 3 years. And that is going to create the problem government thought so. And hence government has provided that this startup can be registered up to 31st March 2023 and can avail the benefit. There is no problem at all. You can have the benefit. Friends, so these are the 2 benefits for startup, but I would be honest that there is no extension given for the real estate sector. There is a provision, friends, only for your knowledge, that any builder starting an affordable housing project wherein he is selling each house which is not exceeding 45 lakh rupees, and his project is, the plan is passed by the corporation up to 31st March 2022, then the whole project income is not taxable. Here it is expected to give the boost to real estate sector. It was expected that this date of 31st March 2022 for registration of the project is expected to be extended. But friends, with the greatest surprise, there is no extension. So if now the affordable housing project is registered after, afraid no tax exemption would be available to the builder, no tax exemption would be available to the real estate sector. Going to go to your favorite and the point for which you all are waiting for, cryptocurrency. Many youngsters are doing the trading in the crypto. Many youngsters are purchasing and selling the crypto. I would be advising that while doing the same, friends, please, a moment, please, be careful. Because there are all the chances that you gain, but at the same time, it's also very much, I would say, dicey. It's very much volatile. So there are all the chances that you may lose your or your parents' hard-earned money. So be careful while doing the crypto. But if you are earning in crypto or you are making the loss in crypto, what is going to be the position is the fundamental. Friends, those who have watched the budget or those who have read the newspaper on the very next day of the budget are aware that there were two headlines in the news channel which were misleading. I was in many Gujarati news channel representing one political party, wherein I told them that this is wrong, a galat che, ye galat likha hai. But they said it is done by our research team, and their research team is higher than the actual provision, unfortunately. They've written corporate tax rate is slashed from 18.5 to 15%. There is no as such benefit. It is cooperative society, AMT rate is slashed. Second misleading information which they were giving was that in crypto, whether you earn or whether you lose, you have to pay tax. There is no provision as such. How can I pay the tax on the loss here? I'm not supposed to pay any tax on the loss. For crypto, they've come out with 4 changes. I'll clarify. First, they've given the definition of crypto, that is virtual digital asset. They've not directly used the word crypto. They've used the word virtual digital asset. Virtual digital asset is defined under section 2, bracket 47A, and it says it is information or code or number or token not being Indian currency or foreign currency. Then there is 8-line definition plus B point plus C point. But if I read this particular definition, you will find that it is the movie Three Idiot going on, and I'm reading the definition of machinery as Rancho has read. So I'm not reading the definition, but it is any, I would say, asset code in number other than Indian currency or foreign currency. We call it cryptocurrency or we call it VDA. They've defined the VDA under section 247A. Second change is, till now what used to happen was that if I am giving the crypto as a gift to a good friend of mine, then in that particular case, that gift received by the person will be taxable or not. Like Mr. X is a very good friend of mine. I've gifted him the jewelry, but 70,000 rupees, this 70,000 rupee jewelry will be taxable in the hands of Mr. X. But if I've given a crypto as a gift to Mr. X, who is a good friend of mine, worth 70,000, whether this 70,000 was taxable, people were arguing, no, not taxable. The reason being, in the topic gift, they've included specific assets in the definition. And only those assets are liable for gift. Friends, for your knowledge, if I gift a personal motor car to a good friend of mine, then such personal motor car, it may be BMW or Mercedes, it would not be taxable in his hand. Is the provision, because personal car is not included in the definition of property for the purpose of gift. Now, crypto was also not included in the definition of property. from the year 20 to 23, it has been provided that if I give cryptocurrency to a good friend of mine exceeding 50,000 rupees, then crypto is now included in the definition of property, and hence cryptocurrency as a gift received by him will be taxable in the hands of the receiver. But if I've given the crypto as a gift to some relative of mine of any amount, not taxable. In the marriage, people have started giving chandla by cryptocurrency of any amount, not taxable. Other than marriage, other than death, other than will, other than relative. If the gift of crypto is received, crypto is included in the definition of property and in the hands of receiver. This particular gift is taxable. The third change is the tax rate, and that is, friends, the major one. I would request you to pay the full concentration because this is very major. It says where the income of the assessee includes the income from crypto, then the tax on such income will be at the rate of 30%. Question arises that government is permitting the gift of crypto, taxing it in the hands of the receiver. Government is now saying that cryptocurrency, if you are dealing in crypto, selling crypto, gain earned by you will be taxable at 30%. Does that mean that government is making the cryptocurrency legal? Answer is no, not at all. If you've seen the budget, if you've read the budget, Honorable the Finance Minister made the announcement that RBI will itself come out with their digital currency. So, she is not giving recognition to Ethereum or any other cryptocurrency, friends. Be careful. Then you are going to definitely ask that if she is not giving recognition to the cryptocurrency, how can this crypto be the part of the act? Friends, if there is some smuggler caught doing smuggling, he will be in the jail because smuggling is illegal. But Income Tax Act would be applicable to the smuggled income. And in Income Tax Act, this smuggling income will be taxable even if it is illegal. Same is the case with crypto, friends. Crypto is not legal in our country. I cannot use the word illegal because still the clarification is required. But crypto is not legal in our country. But the income earned from crypto, even if it is not legal, will be taxable at the rate of 30% without allowing any expenditure, any loss, or any deduction, except the cost of acquisition. If you have bought the crypto, then you sell off. Friends, here, important thing is this crypto is taxable at, friends, remember, 30% after allowing only one expenditure, that is cost of acquisition. Sir, be careful. As far as cost of acquisition is concerned, it is eligible for deduction. That was first thing which is written. All other expenditure, all other allowance, all other loss, not deductible. Second thing written is that if there is a loss due to crypto, then the verbatim of the law are no set off of loss from the transfer of virtual digital asset computed under clause A of subsection 1 shall be allowed against the income computed under any other provision. Meaning thereby, if you have made the loss in the crypto, then you cannot set off, you cannot carry forward. But nowhere it is written you have to pay tax. And media is saying in crypto loss also you have to pay tax. No, nowhere it is written, friends. Do not worry at all. Now, if I explain this with illustration, I have sold the crypto at 100, which I have purchased at 60. My other expenditure are 50. I would be able to have 100 less 60 cost of acquisition, and 40 rupee will be taxable to me at the rate of 30%. I cannot get other expenditure 15 rupee deductible. Now my whole concentration is shifted to crypto. So in my normal business, I have made the loss. Would I be able to set off the loss against that 40 rupee income of crypto? Answer is no. I can get cost of acquisition. I cannot get other expenditure. I cannot get other allowance. I cannot get any other set of rates. No other benefit is allowed to me. Same way, my point important is that assume I have sold crypto at 100, which was bought by me at 130, or say bought by me at 150. There is 50 rupee loss to me. Can I set off this loss from my normal business income or capital gain on gold, or can I set it off against house property income or any other income? No. Would it be possible for me to carry forward this loss to the subsequent year in expectation that I'll make the profit from crypto and I'll sell off a set off? Answer is no. If you are making loss, forget. You don't have to pay tax, don't worry. But if you are making income, pay tax at the rate of 30%. Question arises whether this 100 sales price and 60 cost price and 150 cost price and 100 sales price is yearly amount or transaction wise, meaning thereby there is one transaction in crypto I have made the loss, another transaction in the crypto I have made the gain. Is it such that I have to pay tax on the gain wala transaction and I cannot set off the loss wala transaction? No, friends. Aggregate profit or loss of the crypto is to be net off during the financial year, even if it is in different currency, friends. Even if it is in different cryptocurrency, still you can net it off. From say 12 transactions, you have made the profit of 1 lakh. From another 5 transactions, you have made the loss of say X amount, net it off. 12 you have made the profit of 1 lakh. 5 you have made the loss of 35. Then 1 lakh less 35, 65, and 65 would be liable for tax at the rate of 30%. Crypto income and crypto loss can be adjusted in the similar year. But if net result is loss, it cannot be carried forward. The other important question arises over here is that under which head it would be taxable. You are aware that there are 5 heads of income. Salary, it will not go. House property, it will not go. Business profession, unless otherwise it is routine activity of yours. You are purchasing and selling it day in, day out. Then it is business. Otherwise, general law. For me, for you, it would not go to business. Then only 2 heads are left. Capital gain and income from other source. Under which head it will go? There is one school of thought which says that it will go to capital gain. But friends, if you ask me, I'm very clear that there is no specific clarification in the act related to taxability of the same. There is no specific clarification that it will go to capital gain. There is no mechanism to include the same under the head capital gain. And that's the reason, if you ask me, this amount according to me will be chargeable under the head income from other sources. 56 number के section में chargeable होगा, capital gain में chargeable होगा, and not under the head, sorry, other source में chargeable होगा, my mistake, not under the head capital gain according to me. So this is related to crypto. And friends, buyer of the crypto is supposed to make TDS on the purchase price at the rate of 1%. But I have my reservations for the same, because those who are dealing with crypto are aware that you are doing this crypto on Wazir X. Now you don't know who is the seller. Then how come you are going to make the TDS, boss? It would be quite difficult, because when you make the TDS, you need to know to whom you are making the payment. Would you be making the TDS in the name of Wazir X? Then there would be a lot problem to Wazir X. An intention of law behind TDS is to catch who is buying this crypto, or rather who is selling this particular crypto. And hence, I have my reservations as far as TDS provisions are concerned, because this is altogether a different way the things are working in crypto market. So how far government is able to achieve their target of taxing the cryptocurrency, God knows. There is one question going on, that would it be the premature death of cryptocurrency in India? Friends, this is the government from whom we have to expect the unexpected. The intention of the government may be to kill the cryptocurrency in our country. But friends, in our country, the citizens of our country, 140 crore citizens of our country are so smart that they come out with the provision, and we are finding out the loophole. Many are asking the question to me that, sir, if crypto is illegal in India and taxable in India, I would do it in Dubai in the name of some friend of mine or some relative of mine. He'll do the same. He'll not be liable for tax, and then he'll give this money, what he has earned, to me on my behalf from Dubai to India, and I can have an escape route. All these escapes are definitely permitted. Plus, if you are dealing in crypto, a very important question here arises that would you be showing it in your return? apparently at present no one is showing. Whether government would be able to have the track on your crypto transaction, if you ask me, friends, answer is yes. Government would be definitely able to have the track. This government is so smart that they have got CCTV on your head. What you are doing, government is aware. Believe me, friends. This year, government has come out with the annual information statement, which is your biodata. Chartered accountant, as a chartered accountant practicing, I was not aware about many clients' transaction in the stock market till last year. Now I am able to have it on one click in AIS, and I am asking the client that you have made 84 transactions of sales during the year for the listed shares, and there are 153 purchases made by you, and client is shocked. Comparing the same with broker statement, till last year he was not giving it to me. This year I have got everything on income tax department portal, income tax department website. I can download and check for my client. So crypto is also going to be definitely connected, and things will be problematic. Friends, the next is related to COVID. I'm touching upon the provisions which are affecting the general public, affecting us at large. COVID, by the grace of God, this variant is not that dangerous, and touch wood, but the cases are also decreasing, and we hope that the peak of this third wave has already come in Gujarat. But this Delta was dangerous, and in Delta, there were huge expenditure on the hospitalization. There were huge other expenditure on the medical treatment. Let us put this way. Mr. X or his family member is not well. He's suffering from COVID-related illnesses. Look at the words of the law. COVID-related illnesses. Mr. X is doing the job with A Private Limited. Mr. X or his relative is admitted to the hospital, or he's having COVID-related disease, illness. An employer has incurred the expenditure for the treatment of Mr. X or his relative. Whether the expenditure paid by employer for employee or his relative will be taxable as perquisite in the hands of employee. Apparently, it's a medical perquisite and it should be taxable, but it has been provided by the finance minister retrospectively from financial year 1920, meaning thereby 1st मार्च के पहले 5 दिन में ही कोविड आया और एम्प्लॉयर ने ये खर्चा बेयर किया हो ना, तो भी it would be fully exempt in the hands of the employee, be any amount subject to certain conditions which would be prescribed by central government in the official gazette. There is going to be a problem. The problem will be, I am confident that central government is going to prescribe that put the actual bill of the COVID related illness treatment expenditure. From where you will get the bill if you bought the injection in black. I would be straight, I would be direct, I would be practical. If you bought the injection not from the shopkeeper but in black, you are aware it was, then I afraid it would be difficult. So this is related to employer. Second, if say for example, friends, important is that if someone else gives the money to Mr. X, not employer, for the COVID related illness treatment of himself or his relative of any amount, then also it would not be taxable, subject to conditions prescribed by the central government, which is pending. Government is yet to prescribe. Important point here also to be noted is that if X is admitted to the hospital, he is not capable of doing his or family members medical treatment. The friend of him has borne the expenditure of, say for example, 14 lakh medical treatment for him and transferred the money from friend's bank account to X's bank account, then such money earlier was treated as gift. Now it is not treated as gift and it would not be taxable in the hands of recipient. Third provision. First is employer any amount. Second one is outsider any amount for COVID related illness expenditure subject to conditions mentioned by the central government. Next one, Mr. X is working with A Private Limited, as I have said, and Mr. X dies due to COVID related illnesses. Friends, his employer has given some, I would say, money to the family member of X as a assistance, as a, I would say, money transferred for the future of the family member. This money received by the family member from the employer, any amount within 12 months of the death of X. 12 months of the death of X will not be taxable. Assume X dies today due to COVID. Then from today, that is 5th of February 2022 to 4th February 23 tak mile, it would not be taxable any amount. But assume, friends, the money is given by not employer but by friend. X का फ्रेंड P है, उन्होंने 7 लाख दिए कि रख भाई तू X के रिलेटिव को कि भाई तेरे मेंटेनेंस के लिए काम आएंगे, तू इसकी एफडी करवा दे, म्यूचुअल फंड ले ले, फिक्स्ड अमाउंट आएगी, उसमें से तेरा और घर का गुजारा कर. Y Q ने 2 लाख रुपए दिए. Friends, it has been provided that if some other person gives within 12 months of the date of death of X to the relative of X, then up to 10 lakh it would not be taxable. About 10 lakh it would be fully taxable. Someone has given 7, other one has given 2, total is 9 lakh, not taxable. But if the third one gives 3 lakh, then the total comes to 7 plus 2 plus 3 will be 12 lakh, and this full 12 lakh will be taxable in the hands of the receiver. Full 12 lakh, friends, mind well, it is not 12 less 10. 2 lakh will be taxable. Full 12 lakh will be taxable in the hands of the receiver if the fundamental proper COVID related. Employer se mile, any amount will be not taxable for treatment or after death within 12 months. Kisi aur se mile, for treatment any amount is not taxable. Kisi aur se mile, after death within 12 months, maximum up to 10 lakh not taxable. About 10 lakh it is going to be fully taxable COVID related treatment. Friends, at the same time, earlier, if you incur the business expenditure, such business expenditure is eligible for deduction. Now, there was a case in 97 wherein someone gave bribe and claimed the expenditure deductible, or someone gave extortion money, khandani, and got the expenditure deductible, and it was allowed by the department at that time. To overcome the same, it has been provided that any expenditure, if it is prohibited by law or which is an offense in nature, it would not be eligible for deduction. So any expenditure which is offense or which is prohibited by law is not eligible for deduction. Offense or prohibited by law, when the word is used, it means law of the land, law of the country. The issue came up that if I give the bribe to government employee, not allowed. If I am caught by the police for not wearing the mask and I have to pay the fine, not allowed, because it is penalty for breach of the law. But these pharma companies are giving huge, I would say, gift articles to the doctor. With a pharma company be able to get all these expenditure deductible, it was years. But in 2012, CBDT, Central Board of Direct Taxes, the body governing the income tax, came out with a circular saying that it would not be allowable because it is not permitted by medical council. Doctors are not permitted to receive this, and it should not be eligible for deduction. Then, friends, as it is CBDT circular, it was the matter which is subject matter of debate and discussion before various high courts, various courts. But, friends, in the current budget, the finance minister made it clear that even if it is prohibited by law or an offense, it is not allowed. Plus, if it is prohibited by any rules or guidelines, then also, if given, it is not eligible for deduction. Guideline of the medical council said that this should not be given, this should not be accepted. Even if it is written in the medical council guideline, still it is given and accepted, I afraid it would be not allowed as deduction to the giver. Plus, if you are giving bribe to any private employee, would you be able to get the deduction? There was a judgment of Honorable Bombay High Court in the case of Godlas Nerolek Paint, wherein what they were doing was they were giving the bribe to private employee to get their tender passed. It was said that it is eligible for deduction, but now it has been provided that, sorry, this will also not be eligible for the deduction and you cannot get the tax advantage of the same. Friends, we have two small and then one big. Section 68. If I have borrowed the money, I have borrowed the money from, say, Jokhi sir. worth 10 lakh rupees. Friends, it is loan in my hand. I was in need of money. Joki sir has given me the money. If income tax department is making inquiry in my case, they will ask me that who is Joki sir? I'll say a good friend of mine. Department is asking me that why he has given money. I said that I wanted this money for XYZ purpose. Department is asking me that can you give the confirmation from Joki sir that he has given money? I said yes. I went to Joki sir. I asked him, sir, if you can help me giving your cross confirmation. Joki sir said yes. Cross confirmation means in my books, if Joki sir's account is credited, in his books, my account must be debited. He gave it. I asked for his bank statement wherein this entry is reflected. He gave it. I asked for his ITR of last 2-3 years. He is cooperative. He has given. And I've given all this to the income tax department. Assume they are satisfied. Matter gets over. But in place of Joki sir, if I have borrowed money from some other friend of mine, he's confirming that yes, he has given it to me. He's giving his bank statement at the same time he is giving his ITR acknowledgement also. Department is telling me कि ये आपके जो फ्रेंड है मिस्टर एक्स जिन्होंने आपको 10 लाख रुपए दिए उनके पास ये रुपए कहां से आए. मैं ऐसा आर्ग्यू करता था कि सर यू कैन आस्क मी कि मेरे पास कहां से आए. आई एम नॉट सपोज्ड टू गो टू एवरीवन हु इज गिविंग मनी एज अ लोन एंड आस्क हिम check on him that from where you are getting this money. You cannot ask me. You can ask me my source. Exact words are, you can ask me my source, but you cannot ask the source of the source of mine. You cannot ask me that from where Mr. X has got money. और यही चक्कर में गुजरात हाई कोर्ट there is judgment in the case of Rohini Trading Company. People were getting the advantage out of the same. People were saying that X has done tuitions from which he has earned. If Mrs. X या Miss X से मिले हैं beauty parlor, that tailoring work, household tiffin work, and I tell you friends, there were a number of arguments which were forwarded by us. To overcome it has been provided in the act itself that now income tax department has got all the right to ask source of source. They can ask me that from where Joki sir has got money. They can ask me from where Mr. X has got the money. And friends, if I'm not able to prove, if I'm not given the, I am not able to give the source, if I'm, or else if I'm able to give the source, but I'm not able to prove the genuineness of the source, or my source is not able to prove the genuineness of his source, then I am afraid it would be added to my income. And surprisingly, students and friends, for your benefit, it would be taxable at the rate of 78% under 115 BBE. So there is a big change. Two more. In property market, TDS was required to be made at, friends, 1%. When I buy the property, I was supposed to make the TDS at the rate of 1% on purchase price of mine if purchase price is 50 lakh or above. Now, friends, you people are aware there is a value called stamp duty value. If stamp duty value is higher, TDS is required to be made only on the purchase sales price, not on the stamp duty value, was the fundament. Friends, if my purchase price is 60 and my stamp duty value is, say for example, friends, 70, TDS was required to be made till last year, 21-22, at the rate of 1% on 60 lakh only, not on 70 lakh. From the current year, it has been provided that TDS at the rate of 1% is required to be made on actual sales price or stamp duty value, whichever is higher. That is going to be now onwards 70 lakh. But if your actual sales price is 30 lakh and stamp duty value is 38 lakh, whether the TDS is required to be made, apparently it is on 38 lakh, but as it doesn't exceed 50 lakh, no TDS is required to be made. Assume my actual sales price is 48 lakh and stamp duty value is 57 lakh. Whether TDS is required to be made, till last year you have to see only 48, which is below 50. No TDS was required to be made. Now PY 22-23, you have to see, friends, 48 or 57, higher of the two, 57, which is higher than 50 lakh, friends, TDS is required to be made here. I'm left with only one for our benefit, and that is updated return. But before that, I forgot to tell you that in crypto, many are asking that if we sell off the crypto up to 31st March 2022, will it be taxable? Expect the unexpected from government, and it would be yes. friends, it would be yes. In spite there was no mechanism, government is committed to tax the same. So please don't take any risk. Last one is for our purpose 139.8A, that is updated return. Friends, presently the situation is your financial year is 21-22. You can file the return of 21-22 only up to 31st July 2022. That is called due date. If you are not able to file, if audited return, then it is later date is given as the due date. But if you are not able to file up to 31st July 2022, then latest by 31st December 2022, you have to file the return. Within 9 months of the end of relevant previous year, you are supposed to file the return. Compulsory. Or if you already filed the return and you discover some mistake, you can revise the return also within the same period. Friends, now they have come out saying that you can file updated return. You can file updated return within 2 years of the end of relevant assessment year. PY 21-22 relevant to 22-23, you can file updated return up to 31st March 2025. 31st March 25 तक आप अपना अपडेटेड रिटर्न फाइल कर सकते हैं. पहला मुद्दा. दूसरा मुद्दा, ये अपडेटेड रिटर्न गवर्नमेंट के बेनिफिट के लिए हो ना तो ही फाइल कर सकते हैं. ये अपडेटेड रिटर्न आपके बेनिफिट के लिए नहीं. किसी लोन वाले ने बोला डीएसए ने दैट you have to file the return and you say, oh, I can file updated return below exemption limit. No. If you are paying the tax, yes, but that is applicable from the current year. So for earlier year, PY 19-20, PY 18-19 updated return is not permitted. It is possible when you are filing the return of income only. Loss return updated, not permitted. Refund you are claiming more, not permitted. Income you are showing less or paying less tax, not permitted. If there is notice issued to you, not permitted. Search case is not permitted. But when you file updated return, then you have to pay extra tax, sales, surcharge, interest on the additional income shown by you, plus some additional tax. Friends, assume you have filed the normal return wherein your tax plus interest comes to 120, and you are now filing updated return wherein your tax plus interest comes to 160. Means you have to pay 40 rupee extra. Now on this 40 rupee, you have to pay extra 25% of 40 if you file your updated return within 1 year of the end of relevant assessment year. That is up to 31st March 24. If you are filing your updated return, then you have to pay 40 plus 25% of 40, that is 10 rupee extra. But if you are filing your updated return after 31st March 24 up to 31st March 25, then you are supposed to pay 50% of the additional tax. 120 was original, 160 is the updated, meaning thereby 160 and 120 difference 40 you have to pay. Plus you have to pay 50% of 40. That is 50% of tax, sales, surcharge, interest. That is 20 rupee along with your updated return. And friends, yes, you are permitted to file your updated ITR are the fundamental. Friends, these are the points I would say which were connecting us, which were affecting the general public at large. There are, as I've said, many changes, but they are all technical changes. They are all the changes which are, I would say, far from the practical applicability to us. So I'm not picking up. I have picked up only those changes which are affecting the, I would say, audience at large. Thank you. Thank you very much. Over to you, Bhavna ma'am.
Sir, you have made this topic very, very interesting. It's really enriching and informative session, sir. My chat box is flooded with many positive comments, and students are really curious to know more. So there are a couple of questions, sir. With your permission, sir.
Please, ma'am.
Sir, one of the students has asked, LIC IPO is coming up. So to what extent it is going to be a fruitful step?
Fruitful for government or fruitful for the investor?
Sir, I think you explain in both the perspectives, sir.
See, government has given the roadmap for this LIC IPO in this particular budget. The intention of the government, those who are watching the stock market carefully, would agree with me that in the week prior to the budget, the market was going down like anything. A day before the budget, exceptionally, I would say the market has gone up. And on the date of budget also, it was very much up, then slightly down, and then again, it has closed nicely up. I know that since last couple of days, again, it is volatile. But the intention of the government was to make the IPO of the LIC very successful. So it's a political thing to say that whether this privatization of the LIC or selling the shares to the general public would be a good step for the government or not. In my humble opinion, always the PPP, public-private partnership, is an acceptable concept in the developing country. So it would be 100% beneficial to the government, and government need all the steps. And for the investors also, it is dependent upon the market position at that time. But obviously, it would not be a loss making, in my opinion.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. One more question from the student, sir. 4G network. Already we are facing lots of challenges. So the option of 5G in 2022, how far this will solve our problem?
The problem of 4G which we are facing presently, if you ask me, ma'am, is due to certain connectivity issue or certain conflict between some these telecom companies. But it's a need of an hour to take our country from developing to the developed country. So let us expect the best from this 5G auction as well as the connectivity of the 5G.
Yes, sir. Correct. One more question, sir. Related to the very favorite topic, as you just said, the cryptocurrency part. Sir, what will be the impact of legalization of crypto in future years? That's what one of the students is asking. Will it be favorable for our economy as India has a cash economy?
If you ask me, ma'am, looking at the steps of the government, I don't foresee that in future, other than the RBI approved crypto or RBI issued crypto being legalized. If they want to legalize the crypto, they would have come out with the provision prior to budget or in this budget only. But hypothetically, taking an assumption that government is legalizing the cryptocurrency, all crypto, Ethereum and whatnot, then would it be favorable to the country or not? If you ask me, in other countries, crypto is doing fantastic. But the population, the literacy, the poverty rate, the economy of all those countries are thoroughly different than our country. So if you ask my opinion, legalizing the crypto and permitting the people to trade in crypto would again not be helpful to the country, or I would be advising to my friends, young friends, whether it is legal or whether it is illegal, please don't indulge into this crypto, because from this only handful people are going to earn and not we people, friends. So my opinion, it won't help.
Yes, thank you. And we'll be taking one more question, sir. One of the student is asking, sir, please explain capping of surcharge on long-term capital gain, which you have already explained, sir, but there I want to know from the common taxpayers' point of view.
I'll clarify. Assume I have sold my land in Rancherada, which is long-term, and my long-term capital gain is coming to say 7 crore rupees. On this 7 crore, I would end up paying 20% tax. That is coming to 1 crore 40 lakh rupees. And on this 7 crore rupee income, on 1 crore 40 lakh rupee tax, I was to pay surcharge of 37%. So 1 crore 40 lakh, 37% of the same was coming to 51 lakh 80,000, ma'am, till last year. Now the government, because above 5 crore if you are earning, then the rate of surcharge was 37%. Now government says that on 1 crore 40 lakh rupee tax, which is 20%, your surcharge will be only 15%. That is 21 lakh. So there is a big benefit given because surcharge is leviable on the tax amount. So from 37% to 15%, you are ending up paying less than half of the surcharge. In our case, only it was 57 lakh or so, and now it is only 21 lakh. So it is going to give the big benefit to the assessees who are having long-term capital gain. Government wants to encourage long-term capital gain only, and hence the benefit is not given to short-term except listed shares and securities.
Yes, sir. Very nicely explained, sir. Sir, all other questions which the students are asking in the chat box are already covered by your entire session. So now at this point, where today's session is coming to an end, I must mention my deep sense of appreciation to CA Palak Avagadi for explanation of the topic of Decoding Budget 2022. Thank you, sir, for sparing your time from your busy schedule and making this session very interesting and by giving excellent coverage to the topic, and which I'm sure has given a perfect value addition to our students. Sir, your expert knowledge has indeed made our students aware of the important aspects of budget in a complete nutshell. Further, I would like to thank Team SMPIC for organizing such expert session. A special thank you to all my colleagues for their constant support. Thank you all. We are ending the session here. Wishing you all
Thank you
a
very
great day. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Thank you.